The Indian River County Chamber of Commerce is pleased to present ChamberBuzz. Hi, I'm Penny Chandler. I'm with the Indian River County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm on ChamberBuzz TV. Thanks for being with us, to Oscar Sales from Riverside Theater. You're the Director of Marketing,
Yes.
Is that correct? Tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you end up being in theater work?
Theater really enticed me in college. I took a lot of classes, there wasn't a lot of shows, so there was a theater bug in me. I love to perform, I love to be out in front of people and sing and do things. But I realized that when I got out of college, I couldn't make it a profession to be an actor on stage. So the next logical step would be to get into theater management. And I've been in theater management for, believe it or not, 30 years.
Wow, and
When I was 2.
There are professional, are there classes to take? And that
Oh,
kind
absolutely. It's like for business school, you spreadsheets and whatnot. For theater management, there's how to create a budget for a show, how to audition actors, how to create a show from scratch. There are a lot of facets to theater management, running a theater, that people don't realize. It is a business.
Oh, people don't realize that.
It is a
for
business.
Sure.
So yes, there is great sparkle, if you want to say, magic on stage, but the back end, there's a business to run.
I know that there are a lot of people in the administrative, who have administrative responsibilities at the theater. Where did you go to college?
Florida Atlantic University in Boca, so I'm an FAU alum, yay.
Yay.
And that's primarily where I got the real theater bug and the desire to do theater. So I just do the administrative end of it.
That's great. And before Riverside Theater?
I worked at the Coconut Grove Playhouse in Coconut Grove, Miami area.
I've heard great things about that.
And then before I came here, I worked in the New York area. I worked at the Performing Arts Center at Purchase College, at the Helen Hayes Theater. So I had quite a bit of experience in big theater,
right.
Theater in big communities. But we moved down here in 2005 for Riverside Theater and love the community and love the area. So.
That's great. People talk about equity theater. What does that mean?
Equity theater is really a word for professional theater. The actors that are on stage are those that make that their living. They work, they study, and they are part of the actors union. These are professional people that's all they do. You might have some actors, like especially in New York, you'll hear, oh, well, I bus tables until I can get my next gig.
Right.
It doesn't mean that some of the actors that we've had don't have other jobs to fill in while they get their next show. But an actor auditions in New York. We audition all our actors in New York. We usually have 800 or so actors come in to our week of auditions for the 30 or 40 roles in each show.
So you're talking about auditioning people who that's what they do for a living.
That's what they do for a living.
Just got a high sign here, so we'll come back and chat about that in a little while.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
Join Marshall Littlejohn nightly at 5 and 9 on VeroBuzzTV.com.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler, and I'm here today with Oscar Sales, who's the Director of Marketing at Riverside Theater. And we were chatting before the break about what equity theater means, because you do hear that tossed about and not a definition along with it. But you were talking about where we get performers for Riverside Theater.
We go to New York 3 or 4 times a year. we obviously know the shows that we're doing, and we know the roles that belong to those shows. So now we have to fill those roles with the proper actor or actress, whichever case may be. And so we will put out a casting notice in New York, and we will have hundreds.
How does that happen? Newspapers?
Newspapers,
Professional.
backstage, social media. There are agents, obviously. You put a casting out to agents, and they all have their clients that tell them, you've got to audition for this show or that show. And so the word gets around for hungry actors who want to come to Florida, especially in January and February.
Oh, sure. Especially after the winters they've been having in New York. This is a great spot.
So they come out in droves and try to fill in and be chosen for each of our roles. So
how does here we are, Vero Beach, Florida, Riverside Theater. Where do you go in New York to do that? I mean, where do you rent a hall?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. We rent a hall, usually Pearl Studios, South Manhattan area, Chelsea Studios also. We usually will rent it for a week, and that's where all the auditions will happen, and then we'll have the callbacks once we've
During that same week?
During that same week, well, where we've seen the 800 people, we'll whittle it down to 2 or 3 performers per role and have a callback. And then we'll try to see the rest of the cast and see how well they mesh. So then you are left with your cast.
And do you develop contracts during that week
Oh, yes.
and all of that also?
Well, once we've selected someone, we will go to their agent, usually their agent or themselves, and say, we would love for you to come to Riverside to do this show during this time frame. These are the rehearsals, these are the performance times. We will pay your flight, we will house you, we will give you a stipend, and we will pay you for this time.
I know very little about theater, but one thing that I can recall seeing on TV and in the movies is something called an understudy. And is that a person who takes the place of somebody if they get sick?
Correct.
Correct. Do you have those also?
Usually someone in the ensemble cast studies or understudies the main characters.
So someone of those people that are
Correct.
selected.
Correct. So if perchance actor loses the voice or gets ill or worse, someone can step in and the show must go on. That is, the
Right,
phrase.
that's the phrase. That's the phrase.
The show must go on. So there's always someone to step in just in case. We've been very fortunate not to have had that happen very often.
But it does happen.
It does happen.
Here?
It does happen. When we did Miss Saigon, the lead actor we knew going in could not be here for the final performance.
Interesting.
Big Broadway show was calling him, and okay, sure. So an understudy performed his role for the last performance.
Wow. Well, I've heard the term, go to the theater at Riverside, and didn't know it had happened. We're going to be right back after a short break. Thanks.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics, across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach. Freddie Wolfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight, Indian River, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.
Hi, Penny Chandler with the Indian River County Chamber of Commerce, and our guest today is Sasha Ziebrick. Sasha speaks. Hi, Penny Chandler. I'm here today with Oscar Sales, who's the Director of Marketing with Riverside Theater. Oscar, nice to see you.
Thank you.
We were talking before the break about how you go out and go to New York once a year and recruit professional actors for the performances at Riverside Theater. I'm very curious to know, who comes up with what the plays are going to be and the performances? And is that a group? Is that one person? How do you know you can do that on your stage? There's a lot of questions.
It all is on the shoulders, you can say, of Alan Cornell. Alan Cornell was hired in 1983 to be the first artistic director of Riverside Theater when they moved and made the decision to become a professional theater company. 6 years ago, he became the producing artistic director, so he oversaw not only the artistic end of the show selection, but also the day-to-day operations of it. He, having been here for so long, he knows his community well, and he knows pretty much what will do well. That said, it doesn't mean that he won't try to expand a community's vision or take on a show. And he selects shows, obviously, that he thinks the community will see. We'll put out a survey and we'll ask our patrons, what would you like to see? And we always get responses. And then from that, we will see what shows are available. Because not every show that is listed or that we would love to do is available. For example, Wicked, which is a wonderful show on Broadway, has been there for 10 or 12 years. I would personally love to see it on stage. It's not available to be done.
When you say it's not available, it isn't because there wouldn't be actors or actresses, it's because
the company that holds the rights to the show has not released the rights
so
to
they're going
regional
to
theaters.
continue to do that show on Broadway is what
and
the
touring
answer is.
companies.
And touring companies.
They,
okay.
The company that holds the rights, that owns the rights, it's like a book. They will do the Broadway show, they will open it for touring companies, but they haven't necessarily opened it to regional theaters to do. So there are certain shows that are available, some are not. Some shows that might not be touring or might not be on Broadway could potentially go back to Broadway as a revival, and so they will take those rights away. We had that issue with Chicago a few years back. We wanted to do it, but they were bringing it back to Broadway, so, you know, that stopped that.
And you say some of those shows go out on tour?
Yes. Tours, obviously the producers of the Broadway production also are the producers of tours. So they get money from the Broadway houses as well as the tours.
And do some of the actors or actresses that star in the first line Broadway show when it's up and running, do they ever consider doing the local or regional theaters when that show goes out to?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We've had many a Broadway performer go on our stage. It's not only a change for the actor, but maybe it's a role that they've been dying to do and they've never had the opportunity to do. You know, if you've never done Les Mis and you want to do Les Mis, you're called, hey, I want to do that role.
And oh, that was so good here. So we'll be right back after a short break.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
See Arts in Depth with Barbara Hoffman, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
I'm Penny Chandler. This is ChamberBuzz TV, and we're here today with Oscar Sales. Oscar is Director of Marketing with Riverside Theater. We were talking before the break about how you get your actors and actresses and how the performances that you do each season are selected. I know that I've been in the community for 20 years. About 18 or 19 years ago, I was actually on the board at Riverside Theater, and I know there have been a lot of changes to the theater itself physically and in the composition of how things are done. Tell us a little bit about how the theater has changed over the years.
Well, I've been here since 2005, so it's my 10th year here, although I'm starting my 11th season. Math, wow, that's interesting. I've seen how the theater has grown in the quality of the work that it's doing. It's doing bigger and better shows because the community has told us they want bigger and better shows. And the community has continued to support Riverside Theater for the 40 some odd years it's been here. We want to do the absolute best for them because they have supported us. So the quality of the productions we feel are much better. We were getting great actors, now we're getting super great actors, if there is such a category. And you mentioned the physical plant itself has changed. In 1973, when the original building was built all on donated funds at the cost of $1.5 million, there was no children's theater building, which was built in 1991. There wasn't a children's theater space, which was built in 1998. There wasn't, with the 2006 Reconstruction, the main stage is now better suited for people to be more comfortable, better acoustics, better climate control, better in and out of seating. And during that reconfiguration, we were able to add the wax-lax stage, our second stage, our black box, which was part of Alan's original idea. Here we're on the main stage, we're giving you the big Broadway musicals, but that's not just all that theater is.
That's true. And tell the audience a little bit more about what is on the Stark. It's the Stark.
The Stark stage,
right?
Are those big Broadway musicals? 30
and then
or 40 people in the
wax-lax
cast.
is how many does that seat in the wax-lax
The
theater?
wax-lax is a black box so that the seating configuration
What
can
does
change.
that mean for people that don't know that terminology?
The black box, it's just a room. No specific seating. It is like a room in your house that
Blank
has no
canvas.
furniture. It's a blank canvas, thank you. The configuration of the seats are dictated by what the play is in there. You could have regular theater seating where the stage is on one side and everyone's on the other. You can have the stage in the middle of the room and you have seating all the way around. You can have a combination of, if it's a review, of people in tables and some people in regular seats. So it depends. It's a blank canvas, like you had mentioned. You can make it anything you need. And it's usually called a black box because the walls are usually darkened to make it easy to be made to something else. If you know.
What kind of performances do you have in there?
It's obviously, we use it mostly for our comedy zones, our stand-up comedy performances. But the original intent, what Alan wanted to showcase, the other side of theater, were the modern contemporary plays. Those plays that are the off-Broadway equivalent. If the main stage is the Broadway equivalent, this is the off-Broadway equivalent, where the patrons, the audience, are just feet away from the action. So they're more engaged in it. They're part of the show.
Interesting. We'll be back in a few moments to talk to Oscar about Riverside Theater.
Join us for an adventure weekdays at 4:30 and 8:30 on Buzz TV Network.
Marsha.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.
We love y'all!
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler, and I'm here with Oscar Sales from Riverside Theater. Before the break, Oscar, we were talking about all kinds of things with the Riverside Theater, how it's grown over the years, how you select the performances and get the actors and actresses. And you mentioned in the last segment, Riverside also has the Children's Theater. And that was started, you said, in when?
1980.
In the 80s.
A dedicated group of ladies, I would say, more so than mothers interested in their children learning about live performances. We've always said in theater that the average age of a regular patron is rather high. And once they move on, where is the next audience member going to come from?
True.
And so these people, with great foresight, decided that they're going to start a children's theater program. In 1980, in 1981 was their first summer with summer classes. And as
And this was to teach kids how to get into theater, how to perform, you mean?
how to, yes, teaching them acting, teaching them dance, teaching them how to sing. But mostly it's for children to develop some sort of self-confidence, to develop their inner voice, to develop their not fear of presenting themselves to the world.
So important. In another segment, we spoke with Sasha Ziebrick, who does public speaking and teaches people, and some people are just not comfortable. So teaching them when they're young, and they have that opportunity at the Children's Theater.
Plus, you know, children love to play act and they love to
Right.
perform. So they thought of creating this space, this program for them to be able to share that experiences with everyone.
So right in the beginning, they had that building.
They
that is
didn't have
next
the
door?
building, they had the program, and as the program continued to grow and as children continued to take classes and whatnot, they decided in the late 80s that they needed their own building to be able to have their own classrooms, their own space to grow. And so the Agnes Wallstrom Youth Playhouse was built in 1981 to house them and to have the children grow in essence. In their experiences with classes.
How many children go through there a year, do you think?
We have about 1,000 children at this point going through the classes, although we also know that we touch about 15,000 children throughout the year, because we not only have the classes, we have a program that we go out to the schools.
So you go on the road.
We go on the road, we go to the schools, we perform at the schools. We also have programs where the kids at those schools get a chance to perform themselves in a show.
That's wonderful.
So through these outreach programs, not only in Indian River County, we have schools in St. Lucie and Brevard that we go out to. So about 15,000 kids are
Wow.
are
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. How does all of this, the Children's Theater, the Riverside Theater, whether it's the black box performances in a smaller setting or the main stage, how does all of that get funded?
We have an $8 million budget, of which 50% is through direct ticket sales.
Wow.
So
That's a
50% is earned through donations and sponsorships and the like.
Wow. We'll be back in a few minutes, and I want to pick up on that, talking about how Riverside Theater is funded and the importance of it to the community. So we'll be right back.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare supplement team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
Oscar, before the break, you were talking about you have an $8 million budget at the theater, but only $4 million of that comes from ticket sales. That is a huge chunk of change
It is.
to try to raise in non-ticket sales. How does this happen?
Well, we're very fortunate to live in a very generous community, not only financially, which they obviously are, but in many people giving of their time and volunteering to usher and have people have a great experience. At the theater, we don't have something tangible that someone can take home, like a chair
Right.
or a t-shirt necessarily.
Right.
they can only take home the experience that they've gotten. And so the volunteers, by giving of their time, and the donors who have given of their funds, create the experience that everyone takes home. Like I mentioned, this community has been so supportive of the theater for the 40 years that it's been here. It's a testament to this community that we are still here and we continue to grow and thrive. People have been very generous, $5, $10, in helping support not only what we do, but what we do for the children or what we do for other aspects of the community. We're very thankful and hope that what we present to them is accepted as we want it to be accepted.
That's great. That's great. It's a tribute to everyone involved. How many people come through the theater for major productions each year?
We have about 100,000 people come through the Riverside Theater campus. About 60,000 go to the main stage, and about 15,000 children that we've reached and come through. 15,000 Comedy Zone patrons. There are a lot of people who use the facility in various aspects of it. And we're thrilled. I mean, we're here for people to use us, if you know what I mean. We're fortunate to partner with the Chamber and the Oceanside Business Association, all these wonderful partners who make this community so special and so great. We're thrilled to be part of our association with you guys.
That's great. We're thrilled as well, and think that it's such, to have something like Riverside Theater in the community and be able to talk about Riverside Theater at our office when we're talking to newcomers, or when we are talking to a client who's thinking about bringing their business here permanently and creating jobs. It's a real incentive for people.
Well, let me just say how much we appreciate what the Chamber does.
Thank you.
John Moses, our managing director, had shared some numbers at a recent breakfast that you guys had. And 48 states were represented of people that came through our doors. And that's a testament to what the Chamber does in getting the word out to other areas.
Thank you.
20% of our regular patrons are from outside our local area.
That's amazing. That really is amazing. And what a great job you all do at bringing people in your doors and providing such quality entertainment. And you're doing it year-round, whether it's on any of the stages, children's, the Waxlax or Stark stages.
Yes.
It's really, you're right, it's a testament to the community. I'm Penny Chandler. I've been with Oscar Sales, who's the Director of Marketing with Riverside Theater, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
You.
We'll do this again.
I'd love to.
We'll do it again. Thanks, and have a great business day.
Advertise your business on Buzz TV. Email buzztvnetwork@gmail.com or call 772-777-1382.